Papa Whoop asks,
can you please tell us about superstitions in Korea? Are they different from those in North America? Are there any specific ones that you thought were absolutely absurd? Thank you.
There was actually an explanation point after that, Simon.
It's not an explanation point, it's an exclamation point.
I want to explain something to you.
And I explain to you that you're wrong.
Oh yes, there certainly are superstitions in Korea. Some of them are similar to North American ones, and those we're gonna leave for the blog post. A lot of stuff with like animal dreams and animal visions.
And some extra ones about like what students are superstitious about when it comes to tests and whatnot. So make sure you check out our blog after this video so you can see more of the superstitions that we want to talk about.
I think the big superstition that we find really absurd.
Oh my god.
Every foreigner's like, no, this must be a prank.
The most absurd of superstitions ever. You might know exactly what we're talking about.
It's fan death. Okay, so for those of you that don't know what fan death is, essentially you are not to be in a closed room with a fan, as in a like click, blows wind in your face, that kind of fan. Just a normal fan plugged in and blowing at you, because if it is,
you will die. Well, no, it's supposed to be if you fall asleep in a closed room without any windows open or any doors open, and the fan is blowing at you.
It will turn into a clown and it will murder you while you sleep.
There is a science behind it. One, it winds up cutting the oxygen molecules so you can't breathe it in properly and you wind up suffocating.
I also heard that you can die of hypothermia from fan death because you're supposed to form sweat while you're sleeping, but what happens is the fan will be directly blowing on you and keep you from forming sweat, in which case you will freeze to death. You see the connection, right, guys?
Isn't it obvious?
Obvious. And my favorite one is the air sucking vortex.
Right.
It like forms some kind
tornado of doom.
Yeah. It like creates like a cone shape directly towards you, which causes the air in the center to be like not moving, like a tornado. How the eye of the tornado is like the calmest. Well, that one spot will suck all the oxygen out, and so you will.
Tornado is the calmest?
Yeah.
Where did you hear that from?
Don't you remember Twister?
The eye of the tornado is the calmest.
Okay, maybe I'm getting my facts from Twister, which is a movie.
You think of the eye of the storm.
No, the very center of the tornado, like the actual, like here's the whirling part, the center has no wind. It's not like, yes, in Twister, they chain themselves to the ground and the tornado goes over them. And then when they're in the eye of the tornado, they look up and there's like nothing happening in the middle. It's around them is, okay, facts.
Well, you know what? Okay, well, here's the thing. I learned a lot of things about life from movies. And I also learned from Terminator that a liquid machine is out to kill John Connor.
Make fun of me all you want, but the topic at hand is fan death, so that's what we should be making fun of. Now, here's the thing, guys. Not all Korean people believe this.
No, they don't.
They've all heard of it,
yes,
but they don't believe it. The problem is we've experienced it firsthand, where we had some of our co-teachers over to our home, and when they saw the fan like blowing directly in our bedroom with the bedroom door closed,
they actually said that we can't do this because we might die from it. I am not joking. People have actually told us this in person.
Yeah, and we've had friends as well who have had other coaches to say the same thing. One person like dove at the fan and was like, "What are you doing?" and unplugged it.
Fall asleep with a fan in your room and you just might die.
Fall asleep with a clown in your room.
And you might just wake up happy.
So.
Clowns are the best. Here's another interesting superstition that we just found out from Susie. This is totally hilarious in my opinion. Boyfriends are not supposed to buy their girlfriends high heels because if they do, there is a chance that they might run away.
What, the boyfriend will run away?
No, the girlfriend might run away because you bought her high heels. It's like a bad omen luck kind of thingy. I don't know. I find it ridiculous because number one, if you have a girl in high heels, she's not running anywhere. She's gonna like clip clop away at a very slow pace.
So she ain't gonna
you can easily catch her. And number two, I think the real reason why is probably girls just made this up because guys have terrible taste in high heels and they're like, could you stop buying me high heels? Because if you do, I might just dump you. So guys, if you have a Korean girlfriend, don't buy her high heels. Not that you were planning on doing so anyways, but now you have a real reason not to.
So that's kind of weird, that Infinite video that the guy was even shopping for shoes.
What makes you think it was for his girlfriend? I'm not saying anything, but
I'm saying something.
I didn't see a girl in that video. Did you see a girl in that video who was buying shoes for?
Ain't nothing wrong with buying high heels for yourself.
Of course.
They support you.
You can work it.
A quick and easy one is that you shouldn't use a red pen to write someone's name because it's a bad omen. It's like you're
Almond? You mean like a nut?
No, not almond. Duh.
It's an omen, not an almond.
What's wrong with an omen?
It's supposed to be an omen, not an almond.
I'm gonna say it as an almond, the British way. British people are like, don't drag us into this.
If you write it in blue pen, it becomes a cashew.
Okay, that's not true, but red pen is not good, and when I was teaching, I did it a couple times on the board, and my students were like, and they told me later on not to do that. And it's weird because now I can't like shake the habit. I'll pick up a red pen pen. And you don't realize how many stupid red pens you have lying around.
They're just everywhere, son. There's like an epidemic of red pens in Korea.
And then you go to write someone's name on an envelope and you're like, son of a, and you just drop it.
Another superstition that has to do with weddings. At a wedding, whoever catches the bouquet is supposed to get married within 6 months. If they don't do so, then that means they won't get married for another 3 years.
Okay, well, that's weird because every single Korean wedding I've been to, there is no throwing of the bouquet. There's like a gentle handing to
and
the
that's
person.
the reason why, because it's actually fully rigged. Susie said that these weddings wind up getting rigged. So you know if somebody's about to get married, you wind up giving them a bouquet so that they can fulfill the prophecy of catching the bouquet.
Because they're like, oh,
yes,
no,
that's the whole point.
You totally got it.
Because they knew that they were supposed to get married at that time.
So it's kind of like a twist.
It's rigging the game. It's dishonest system.
That's kind of like a twist on North American belief of it, because the bouquet, when you catch it, means that you're next to get married.
Yeah.
But it's not like a time limit. Like
you know what I want to know? What happens if in like some Korean wedding, like if you're about to throw it and somebody comes and runs and intercepts it? You know how many people gamble on bouquets in Korea? Probably not a lot.
Obviously none, because you know who the
because you know that's already rigged before you go into it.
Didn't my sister catch my bouquet?
I don't know.
She did, and then she got married. Ho ho, magic bouquet.
I don't remember much about your bouquet. I think you wound up stealing the flowers from Subway.
Shh, be quiet, you fool.
Subway sandwiches!
No, I didn't. And the last easy one is the number 4, which is an unlucky number in Korea because the Chinese symbol of death, and so it's just considered very unlucky to the point where inside of a building they'll have like 1, 2, 3, F, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even at our old office town, remember we skipped the 4th floor.
It had an F instead of a 4.
And we never knew what was on that floor because the entire floor existed.
It was just dead bodies.
Really?
Yeah, lots of them, everywhere.
That's really scary.
You know what doesn't make sense to me? You know, Korean people aren't Chinese. So they don't use Chinese. I'm saying, I wouldn't care, you know? Because there's lots of like other words that, you know, sound one way in Korean, but are different in English, but I'm not gonna base my beliefs off of that.
Yeah. Well, they use Chinese symbols sometimes for some things, but I mean, I know they're not Chinese, so I guess it's the same way how like 13's unlucky in North America, but I'm pretty sure 13.
Not because it's like, well, 13 in French means je suis le dead, you know?
I am the dead.
I am the dead.
Hello, I am the dead.
So essentially what we can say is Korea's version of number 4 is like English version of number 13. Like the 13th floor is unlucky.
Yeah, and you don't get married on the 4th, Susie told me as well.
There you go.
It's very bad luck to get married on the 4th.
Oh, another thing about weddings, if it rains on your wedding, it's supposed to be really good luck.
In Korea?
Yes.
Really?
Susie wanted to tell me that. And I find that funny because my sister, hi. My sister, I'm not sure if you watch my videos. I'm not even sure if you know that I have a website. Anyhow, because like my sister, when she got married, it was like like we were in Jamaica and it was totally beautiful throughout the entire week, except like half an hour before her wedding, like this giant monsoon came and wanted like blowing over the chairs and the gazebo and everything.
The gazebo?
The gazebo! What did you say? Psh, almonds. And the whole point is that my sister's wedding and marriage is very lucky as a result.
Okay, let's just stop talking. I want to hear your superstitions from your countries because I'm sure one of the countries is gonna like do the opposite of the Korean one.
There's gonna be an overlap
you know what I mean?
happening.
So it's like as long as you're in a different country, everything's lucky. It's like 4's unlucky. I go to the next country, they're like, it's the best. And a bird poops on me. I'm like, yay. And the country's like, very bad almond.
So that's it for this week's TLDR. If you have a question for next TLDR, leave your question in the comment section below.
Or check out other questions that are asked, and if you like them, thumb them up and bring them to our attention.
And don't forget to subscribe for more TLDRs where Martina talks about almonds, pistachios, and cashews.
Yes, I will. I'll do that. It will be the thing that I do.
You know why? It's because you're so nuts. Oh, I'm clever.